Hello, people on the internet. My name is Maximum Illusion, and welcome back to another Warframe build video. Today, as promised in my last Inarth video, we are doing Nidus, who, with the recent Sacrifice update and the new mods that have come out, has become the most viable survival Warframe in the game. I have a lot of love for Inaros, as you guys know, with all the build videos I've done on him, but Nidus just fully takes the cake now. And I'm going to explain why. So, when I'm done with this video, and when you're done watching it, you will know how EHP works, what EHP does, and how to calculate it. And you'll also know my Nidus build. So, first of all, I have to show you my old Nidus build. This was the original. This was the OG Nidus build for me. This was what I had to begin with. Wasn't anything too good, or anything, you know, it wasn't perfect, but it wasn't bad either. So, yes, I know I have a primed flow, and I have a regular flow in here. I couldn't fit the flow on there to begin with when I first had this build. And recently with my new build, as you guys will probably see, I had to do a lot of forma on this. I had to put a lot of it on there. But the thing you need to understand about this is that the old Nidus had an EHP value of 20,323. Now, that is no small amount of health. That means you can take 20,323 points of raw damage before you die. And I'm not gonna lie, that's not taking into the fact that he has a 15 heal rate, meaning he heals 15 health a second. So that's more damage he can take. And if you take into account his abilities, specifically his Ravenous, it gets kind of insane, because now you have 29 extra health per second. I'm not going to go into all that. We're just based off of raw EHP. But he's a force of nature. I'm not going to lie. Nidus was a force of nature. But if you compare him to my Inaros tank, this was the old Inaros tank. This was... Oh man, this brings back memories. I'm not even going to lie. This was old stuff. But the old Inaros tank had an EHP value of 27,588, of more than 7,000 more EHP that he could take from one hit. And you have to remember, this guy was the healing king. I've done videos on him. I mean, he can get over 100,000 HP regenerated in 1 second. Easily do that. Granted, the regeneration values change from enemy type to enemy type, but you can, at the very least, you can regenerate your max HP in 1 hit, which is ridiculously powerful. And technically, you could probably just double or even triple his EHP just because of that. But seeing as how EHP is how much raw damage you can take in 1 hit, it's a little iffy. Now, the new Inaros build that I made was this one. Now, this one is a little... Okay, it's a lot more powerful. And it ended up with an EHP value of 37,311. A full 10,000 more than what we had before. So that's a chunk of change right there. That is a serious hit you can take. Alright? Any other Warframe takes that hit, they'll be dead. Almost guaranteed. There's no other Warframe out there other than perhaps Rhino. And even then, 37,000 damage in 1 hit. His iron skin is gone. It is demolished. Now, if you were to take that with his immortality on iron skin, it would be a little different. But with the new build and that 37,000 HP, he beats out both the old Nidus and the old Inaros. But now, let's get over to the new Nidus. The new Nidus is a little more refined. So, if you go through and check, and you do the EHP values, he ends up with an EHP of, get this, 84,812. Yeah, that's fully more. That's twice what Inaros had. So, originally, like I said, before the Sacrifice update, Nidus was beaten by Inaros. But now it's the other way around, because originally you had to lose a lot. You had to lose a lot in order to get a strength value high enough to be able to get that 90% damage reduction on your Parasitic Link. Now, I'll be honest right now, because my Umbral Intensify isn't maxed out yet, I don't have that 90%. What I do have is 84.5. Now, sadly, for both this build and for the Inaros build, you cannot physically max everything out because you don't have enough capacity, but what I plan on doing is maxing out Umbral Fiber and then putting one more into Umbral Intensify because that will give me my 90%. And it'll also max out my armor, which is really nice. So, with all that in mind, there's another thing you need to understand. So, with Nidus's regen, with his current regen, from what I understand, the max amount of damage you can take in 1 second and just brush it off is approximately 8,700. I'd have to go through and do the actual calculations, and I'll probably do that later to see if I'm right or not. But, putting all that together, this guy is an absolute tank. He's a beast now. Able to survive things that no normal Warframe, or pretty much anyone actually, can survive. But, now let's get on to the weapon. The weapon, as you're probably guessing, hasn't changed at all. It's still this, but I kind of figured out how to put this in there. For those of you who don't have a Me-1 Riven like this, or don't have a Zal Riven like this, you can just drop this out and stick on a Berserker. Just drop that out, stick on a Berserker. Yeah, you won't have as much crit chance, but you'll have more attack speed, and that's pretty much why I have that on there. It's because it's got attack speed. The crit chance is helpful, and that's the only reason I have it on there instead of Berserker. So, still have our Life Strike and everything. Now, Life Strike won't be as useful on Nidus, because, as you probably guessed, Nidus is taking 2.4% of the actual damage he's supposed to be taking. And he's probably out-regenerating all that anyways. So, having a Life Strike doesn't really help you, but I kind of figured late game, when you take a hit that does, 40,000 damage and drops your health by 900 points, you can use a Life Strike and instantly regenerate all 40,000 health that you just lost. So, it's helpful, and that's the only reason I have it on there. If I were going to drop it off, I'd probably drop it for, what would I put on there? Probably, you know what? I'd probably put on a Gladiator Might. Just because Gladiator Might is a mod that I can actually use properly. And, yeah. Yeah, I'd put on a Gladiator Might. So, alright, so let's get on to Satan's House Cat. Once again, as you probably guessed, hasn't changed at all. Now, I want to get I wish they would make a Kavat version of Space Rabies. For those of you who don't know what Space Rabies is, it's basically the infested Kubro. He looks really awesome, and I really want to get him, but if they would make a Kavat version so that I could stick on my Reflect and my Cat's Eye, which is so good. That 60% increase the crit chance for 10 seconds within 25 meters is... You see it. You will see it. And I will be doing I will actually be doing a solo survival in a little bit. Probably right after this video, so that you guys can see just what this build is capable of and just what it's able to do as far as, staying alive and doing damage. Now, yes, my damage could be significantly better, but for what this character has right now, it's pretty good. So, on a final note, I just really want to do this. So, this is the new Nidus skin, as you guys have probably noticed. This is... I'm actually going to go in here and just call this it looks like a World of Warcraft Death Knight. It really does. It's got that little, sporting the light blue, and if we head over to this little area here, he grows all this extra stuff on here. And he just grows all this armor and it looks great. It looks absolutely amazing, and I like to compliment the person who made this skin. It is just incredible. Just so well made, and it just looks amazing. So, without any further ado, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, comment if you have any suggestions on changes I can make. to this build because I'm always evolving my builds, always making them better, always trying to push the limits of how far they can go. So, I will see you all in the next video. It will probably be on Rhino, or yeah, it'll probably be on Rhino. So, I will see you on the next video.